Hold up. Why are you still making excuses? You, yes, you. Why are you still making excuses? Today, this video, we're going to talk about what excuses are you making that are holding you back from being seen as the go-to expert. Hey, I'm Jamelia, our PR coach and strategist. Now, I want to talk about this because for real, y'all, we gotta stop with the excuses. The things that's holding us back from the success that we know we deserve, the thing that's holding us back from being seen as the expert or being seen as the go-to expert or seen as the influencer in our industry that should be shaping conversations around the thing that we know best. Let's talk about what excuses you're making. Now, I wanted to have this video today because one thing that I've heard probably over the last few weeks from several different people was them telling me all the things they needed to get together before we worked together, or the things that they needed to get together before they sought out to position themselves as a go-to expert, the things they thought they needed in order to build influence as an expert. So let's talk about that first excuse that I've heard a lot. And that one is, I need some time to build up my email list. I need some time to build and work on my website. Ooh, in my last masterclass, somebody asked me, do I need to have a logo before going after publicity? Can I pitch myself? I don't even have a logo. Or some people think, I need to get my media kit or my press kit together before I start working with the PR agency. Before I have a publicist, I need to have this press kit together. Now, y'all, let's break down this excuse, right? And I call it an excuse simply because most people think that they need this in order to seek out publicity. They think that they need this in order to have PR for their business. They think that they need this before they can step on some stages. And yes, having your things in order is very important. But if you're at the ground level, if you don't already have an email list, if you don't already have your website together, you don't already have a logo, you don't already have your press kit, that should not stop you from positioning yourself as the go-to expert, simply because these additional things that I listed out, these extras, they are brand assets. And those assets are important for your marketing. But if you don't know your story, if you don't know what makes you different from everybody else, if you have not understood how to make a pitch that capitalizes on every opportunity, whether it's speaking on stages, talking like this on social media in your videos, or having sales calls, or, what it is that you say when you're trying to get somebody to buy your book, or if you haven't figured that stuff out yet, then you need to work with somebody who can help you do that so that you know what to put in those emails. Like, you don't want to, start working on generating an email list and getting people on there if you still haven't figured out what story and what information you're going to share with them. You wasting their time. They're on your email list and you don't even got nothing good to share except for buy me, buy my services, buy my products. Go look at my new fancy website. Check out this new logo. I got this press kit. I got this media kit, but I'm not even pitching it. So you want to know how to position yourself as an expert before you do all those things. You have to know and be comfortable with, your story. I work with a lot of professionals who they have worked really hard in their business to become an expert. They have studied and researched the products that they have. They have studied and for many, many years put in the work and the time to understand the services that they provide. So you want to fully, when people get on your email list, you want to fully be able to tell them all the things that make you great, all the things that make you unique. Not just hide behind some website hoping that, you're going to get more customers, or hide behind some logo thinking that, people are going to recognize your logo. Like, you're not McDonald's. people not going to recognize your logo. Like, there are some recognizable logos, but all those people have taken time in building the story and the personal brand behind that logo. And that came from working on how they present themselves, how they position and pitch their services and their business, how they talk about the results that they give, how they share their value. So if you think, or if you're using the excuse of, I need to build my email list, I need to get my website together, I need to get my logo together, I need to get my media and my press kit together before I can hire a publicist, before I can work with a PR firm, before I can work with a PR coach, you guys, you have to know that those small things aren't what's holding you back. Knowing what to say and knowing where you should position yourself so that the market can come to you, so that you can attract them, or so that you can be in the right place where they are, that's what's really important. So you want to be sure that you've positioned yourself as the go-to expert before any of that, right? Like, it's good to have an email list. It's good to have your website. It's excellent to have a logo. It's great to have a media kit put together of all the places that you spoke at before, all the, press and media that you may have gotten in the past. But you really need to be comfortable with talking about your business in all settings. Like, it's different everywhere you go. You talk on radio, you have a shorter time. You talk on podcasts, you have a longer time. You talk on TV, you need to talk in sound bites. So you have to know all of that before you make all of this stuff, right? So don't let that be an excuse that's holding you back. And then something else that I hear very often is, I'm going to figure it out on my own. Y'all, we're going to Google ourselves to death. We're going to spend so much time Googling and trying to figure out how to be that go-to person. We're going to spend so much time and energy trying to figure out how to funnel hack somebody. Have y'all heard of that before? I remember one of my students asked me, she said, well, what do I do when people are trying to funnel hack me? Go ahead and let them. Like, they ain't really got the sauce. They don't really have the juice. They don't really have the recipe. They saw your snippets of you cooking and they thought that they could make the spaghetti just as good, but it's not true. So saying that I'm going to figure it out on my own without the guidance, and that student, you guys, she's doing amazing things. She is a radio show host, and she is able to have great conversations around love, around marriage, and she positions her services with that, outlet. So that all happened because she was able to figure out how to position herself as the expert. But if you say, I'm going to figure it out on my own, you got to think about, how much time am I going to be spending figuring it out on my own? How much money am I not going to be making because I'm trying to figure it out on my own? How many clients am I going to lose because I haven't quite figured out what it is that they want from me, how it is that I have these conversations with them? If there's an investor out there who I'm thinking should invest in my business, and I haven't presented myself as the expert, as the person that you should go to, the person who holds the knowledge, how is that really going to affect my success rates? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys because I want to show you guys someone who I worked with and how he was like, I'm tired of figuring it out. Like, I just want somebody to tell me the things that I need to do so that I can position myself for success, so I can position myself to get the clients that I need, and I can go after the opportunities that I need. Like, I may not have every single thing together, but I do know that I have a good service. I do know that I have, a website, a landing page that I can send people to if they want to do business with me, if they want to book calls with me. So I don't want to figure it out. I want to work with you, and I want you to just tell me 1, 2, 3 what to do, and I'll get everything else in order. So he didn't want to figure it out. So let me share my screen with you guys real quick so you can see this story, and we can kind of talk about what his success has looked like in working with me. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to just share this case study with you and what it's like when you have someone who is helping you attract quality clients, who's helping you not only attract quality clients, but have conversations with people so that they're very clear on the services and the products that you offer. So I wanted to show you guys one of my students, Tommy. Me and him work together to generate leads for his business and to bring in, successful clients through how he positioned himself and how he marketed his services and the strategies that he's gotten from me and the things that he's done on his own to really build up his business and to show people that, he's not only is he serious, but the fact that he can deliver results, that he knows what he's talking about. He's a brand strategist, you guys. And with that, he needed to be able to differentiate, how are my service different than the people who just make you logos, the people who just do, those cute little websites for it. Like, he has a whole strategy behind it. So he needed people to understand that. But he was like, how do we tell my story so that this is understood, and how do I get clients from that? So what you see on your screen right now is a conversation we had to your left, a conversation that we had on Instagram where, when I seen the success he was having, I was like, yo, Tommy, that's dope. Shoot me a message. Let me know what's going on. He said, all of this happened because of you. And then he had this screenshot that said, I'm 17 leads deep. These are 17 people who have booked a call with me, who want to do business, who are ready to, talk about the services that I offer in the way that I offer them. So I wanted to just market myself. And what happened? When I did, I got 17 leads. And then you'll see on the top right in there, that's me and him in a private chat. And he said, this month I landed a client that was $4K a month. And I'm going to be helping them. And it's not just, a one-off thing. It's going to be something that's really going to solidify my business. And it's really going to give me like a new opportunity to express the skills that I have. So like, this is what happened when you don't just say, I'm going to figure it out myself, because you're like, I want to fast track how I get results. I want to just know what is it in my story that's going to start attracting people to me. So Tommy's going to tell you guys what his experience was like and how he feels about not trying to figure it out on his own. And I want to know if you can relate to this.
Tommy Presley here from TOP Design Studios. It has been an absolute joy working with Jamelia. Like, as a business owner, you're so used to just creating and just getting things done that you don't really think of the other aspects that that come with running a business. Sometimes you don't even think about, what can I do to get the word out about my business? What tactics do I need to put in place to get the word out about my business? How do I get more clients enrolled or onto my email list to warm those leads up? Now I can just run things by Jamelia. Like, I don't know what to do a lot of the times. So like, when it comes to bringing visibility to my business and things of that nature, but having someone like Jamelia that I can just shoot a message to really quickly and she just knows exactly what to do is just awesome. And it's really saved me a lot of time and money when it comes to getting visibility for my brand.
So now you guys see, like, when it comes to getting visibility, when it comes to you putting yourself out there, what strategies and what tactics are you doing to reach your goal? In another video, I talked about, if your goal was a success of drawing in clients, if your goal is a success of having media placement so that, people start taking you serious, then you have to figure out what your goal was. And for him, his goal was to tell his story so that he could start attracting the right clients, the people who he loves to work with. And this is what happened. So let me go back to my screen so you guys can see me. Okay, you guys. So that was Tommy's story. So now you guys see, like, that I'm going to figure it out. I'm just going to wait till later. Like, that could be the thing that's holding you back, not only from positioning yourself as an expert, but the success that he had. Like, what might be holding you back from connecting with 17 people who are interested in your business, or landing you that 4K client a month because you are properly positioned as the expert. if you have a unique service, you have a unique product, it's important that you're able to communicate that through publicity and through PR services. Another thing that I hear a lot is I don't have time. Like, I can't work with a PR coach because I don't have time. And I totally get that. You know, you're running a business, you're trying to figure it out. Maybe you still have a 9 to 5. Maybe you are an executive at your 9 to 5. So time is really stretched thin. So you're like, well, I don't know, what I should really be focusing on. And that's one of the problems when you don't know what you should really be focusing on. You end up spending your time doing shit that don't matter, things that's not going to bring you the result that you're after. So when it comes to the I don't have time, the real thing that you should be thinking is, I don't have time to waste. What is it that I need to do during the small amounts of time that I have to market my business, the small amounts of time that I have to go after speaking engagements, a small amount of time that I have to go after pitching for new opportunities or pitching for media attention? How do I use that time to be most effective, right? Like, how do I make sure that if all I got in a week is 2 hours, because that's usually what I tell people. If we're working together in my coaching program, it's 1 hour for our meeting time per week so that we can be sure that you're on the right track that week. And then it's 2 hours in getting that work done. So if you're thinking like, I don't have time, what it really is like, it's an excuse, but at the same time, it's, I don't know how to effectively use my time, or I don't know how to set my time up so that it creates a process for me. Most of the time, and I've learned this from my own business, most of the time when it's a problem where I say like, I don't got time to do that, it's because I have not set up a system. I have not set up a process. I have not set up a 1, 2, 3 ABC that I could follow, that my virtual assistant can follow, that, whoever can follow to get it done. So it feels like you don't have time because you're unorganized, because you don't know the next thing to do. You don't know the first thing to do. You messing up and you're doing the first thing instead of the last thing. So when it comes to, and that still goes for like the email list, the website, the logo, you haven't figured out, where does this come into play? Where does this come into play when it comes to marketing my business, when it comes to put myself out there, get more attention for my business? What is the right order? And that can be something that makes you feel like you don't have the time, because you feel like you're all over the place. And when you're all over the place, that take a lot of time to sort out what you should be doing, who should be doing it, why you should be doing it, who you should be reaching out to, what you should be saying to them when you reach out to them. So when you say, I don't have time, if you are not positioning yourself as a go-to expert, if you are not building up influence in your industry, and you like, I just don't have time, or I'm going to figure it out on my own, or, first I need to build my email list, I need to build the website, I need to do the logo, I need all of these things, it's probably because you haven't figured out what to do next. And in that, I say, book a call with me so that we can figure out what your next best steps are. The links are surrounding this video. Just go ahead and do it so you can figure out what should I really be focusing my time on. And then something else that I hear when it comes to why I'm not positioning myself as the go-to expert, it's usually, I know what my business does. I know the results that I offer. I know who's interested in me. So what I'm going to do is post a whole lot of content. What I'm going to do is, go and network and shake a whole lot of hands and make sure that people know me. And yes, those things work to a certain extent. But in all honesty, if there's not a strategy behind your networking, if there's not a strategy behind the social media posts that you do and how you come across, if there's not a strategic manner in which you're pitching yourself, and when I say pitch yourself, I know a lot of people think like, oh, if I'm pitching, that's for media outlets, or that's for me to get money from investors. But you have to think about it as everything you say, everything you do as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's all a pitch. everything is a pitch. So you have to be talking in a way that people can understand, and you're not just talking and hope that somebody can latch onto your message. Like, have you ever met that person? You ever been to like a networking event and you meet somebody, you shake their hand, you ask them what they do, and it seems like they just talk for like the whole hour, and you're like, dang, did you even take a breath? Like, you're just talking and talking and talking. And people do that because they're hoping if they keep talking, if they keep posting on social media, eventually somebody's going to understand. Eventually somebody's going to pay attention. But really that goes back to, again, you're spending your time doing these things and it's not bringing you the real result that you want. So when it comes to positioning yourself as an expert, y'all, don't just keep talking and talking and hoping somebody gonna feel you. Don't keep talking and thinking that eventually somebody's gonna, pay attention. Have a strategy behind all of the things that you create. Have a strategy about the conversations that you have. Have a strategy about how you show up. And it's so important because in today's world, in today's digital world, like right now you're watching me on video, on social media, but like how many people can watch you if you knew what to say? Like some of us really struggle with just what to say. How do I have that conversation? And like I say, everything is a pitch. So if you're having that conversation, you should be pitching for business. You should be having conversations that are getting people to understand your products and your services. And when you show up as the expert. That's what makes you the go-to expert, because people are like, go to Jamelia if you're interested in getting more eyeballs on your business. Go to Jamelia when you want to know how to tell your brand story, when you want to know how to build up your personal brand. That is what brings real results for you and for your business. That is what helps you scale. That is what helps you grow. So I have another one that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to share my screen again. And this time it's Imani. She's going to talk about how she wasn't really down with, doing videos, because all of us are introverts and camera shy, and we have those emotions that we're dealing with. But sometimes what it really is we haven't figured out what parts of our story to share. We haven't figured out what parts of our story our audience is truly going to invest in. So in that, me and her, we built her strategy around things that really would help her explain her business and explain her processes as a business owner, because she's just like most of us. She's in a very saturated market. So you think, how do I stand out from the crowd? She's a tattoo illustrator. So with that, there's a tattoo, shop on every corner. What's going to be the thing that's going to make you pay top dollar for your tattoo, but it's also going to be an experience. And that's something that you need to understand when you work with me. That was her struggle. But y'all, it ain't a struggle no more. So I'm going to share my screen so she can talk about it. And then I'll come back to video with me. Okay, you guys, this is Imani Kay Brown. Now, she is an amazing tattoo illustrator. She's an amazing artist, y'all. Like, she is truly gifted with her hands. Like, she's an expert too, because she uses tattoos as a way of emotional release. Like, and that's something very unique. Like, when you have a unique business, you have a unique motto. If the way you do it and your spin on things is completely different from how other people are doing it, that increases your value, because you have a certain community of people who really understand and who really are going to rock with you. So I want to share her story, because she has an amazing story of working with me about how she went from not wanting to do live streams, not wanting to be in front of the camera, being, an introvert and having feelings about, I don't know if this is how I should put myself out there. If telling my story is going to matter, I don't know if people are going to connect with it. So we built up her strategy based on people who are interested in her business. We built up her strategy, for putting herself out there, for positioning herself as an expert based on who she was and the services that she offered and the uniqueness to her. There ain't many people out there who's doing what she's doing. There aren't many people out there who are as talented as she is. So it was so important for us to position her as an expert and to build up her influence, by going on video and talking about these things and how she shared her story and how she got to where she is. So I want you guys to listen to her real quick.
Hello, my name is Imani Kay Brown. I am a tattoo artist, illustrator, and proprietor of Little Ink Play Shop. I am enthused to have worked with Jamelia to figure out a strategy that would help me as an artist, specifically because while I don't feel that I use my words great or even understand my story and the points that people are really going to pick up on, Jamelia was able to help me break all of that down in terms of what that looks like to share it with other people, things that were important pivot points, et cetera, things that you don't normally think about if you aren't on the other side. I found it very valuable. The warm feedback that she gave, the constructive criticism, the way she stopped to dig deeper and get me to understand how to actually connect with my audience, though I don't necessarily want to be in front of a camera. She taught me in a very brief span of time how to actually be comfortable in just being myself and sharing my message. And I found all of that to be great as I did my first IG live, and I felt awesome afterwards and during. So I waited to do this testimonial until after my first IG live because I wanted to see how I felt based on her instruction, and hands down, it is the best. It's been a very special day to do my IG live, and I can't wait to do it again next week. I wasn't saying that not even 2 weeks ago. So thank you, Jamelia. If there's anybody watching this who is considering her services, please, by all means, it is probably one of the best investments that you can make with getting clarity for yourself and getting your PR strategy together and pressing go. So yeah, thanks, Jamelia. I appreciate it. Can't wait to work with you again.
All right, you guys, welcome back. So like I said, it is so important that you know how to share your story, how to talk about the journey that you've been on when it comes to your business, when it comes to building your expertise. Like, that's so hugely important, you guys. I want you to know that people really do want to know that you got receipts. People really do want to know that you're an expert. So if you are going after positioning yourself as an expert, you have to be able to tell your backstory. We don't live in a society anymore where everything is going to be so tethered to, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a business owner, everything isn't so tethered to, well, I got my degree from Michigan State. I got my master's from Valdosta. I have all of these certifications when it comes to writing. I used to be a journalist. Like, what people really want to know is, how has that journey that you've been on, how has your story made you better in the industry in comparison to other tattoo artists, to other PR coaches? How has your journey made you different, and what things have you learned along the way that's going to keep them from making mistakes or keep them from choosing, the wrong person to work with, because the person to work with is you. Or if you have the opportunity to be on television, to be on radio, to get podcast interview, how do you actually share that story in a very effective manner so that you turn those listeners into fans, so that your fans become your clients and your customers? How do you do that? So that's why it's so important to really understand your story. It's so important to build up your personal brand and then create a system and a process behind that so that you're getting publicity and you are scaling your business. So, y'all, It is time for you to build up your influence as an expert. And if you think that that's you, I would love to chat with you. If this is your first time being introduced to me, I'm Jamelia, a PR coach and strategist. I've got 13 years of experience in PR, marketing, and events. I love working with goal-driven business owners, goal-driven entrepreneurs who really are looking to make a name for themselves by showcasing their expertise, who really want to put some publicity, powerful publicity, strategic publicity behind their business. They want to be on bigger stages. They want to be able to build that influence so that people understand what makes them unique, what makes them stand out from the crowd. I'd love to help you with that. Go ahead, click the link surrounding this video so that you can connect with me. I invite you to book a call with me. Let's go on a video just like this, me and you, where we can talk about what's going right for your business, what may not be going right for your business, and how you can be positioned as a go-to expert and the results that that can bring for you. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. But yo, I want you to stop making excuses when it comes to positioning yourself as an expert, when it comes to going after publicity, when it comes to putting PR in place for your business. Stop making excuses. You do have the time. The resources are available to you. You are an expert, and you don't have to keep posting 1,000 times on social media. You don't have to talk until you're blue in the face for people to understand your value. It's easy. So connect with me, click the links around this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.